Hello everyone, for today's video I will be talking about the embryonic stem cells and the connection of it between the regenerative medicine. So before we start, have you ever watched the movie X-Men? In that movie, there's a character by the name of Mystique, and she is a shapeshifter. A mutant shapeshifter with the ability to molecularly shift the formation of her biological cells at will and her appearance, and thereby make others assume whether she's a human being or even an animal. Okay, wait, I'm sorry. This is way too vague and confusing. Let me rephrase this and get to the main point I'm trying to convey. Have you ever heard of those magic cells in our bodies? Well, those magic cells are called stem cells, and which roam in our bodies 24/7 without even us knowing. So stem cells are the body's raw materials and cells from which all other cells or specialized functions are generated. So under the right conditions in our body or a laboratory, stem cells divide themselves to form more cells called the daughter cells. In simple words, stem cells are blueprints that various of them sit around our bodies and places where they copy themselves to create a continuous supply of fresh young cells. So to get into the stem cells area, so the growth of the scientific research has increased a lot, like really a lot, and has gotten better over the years. Therefore, it has helped us find two main stem cells, which first being is a tissue specific and the second being the embryonic stem cells, which I will be talking about later on in the video. So in short, the tissue specific stem cells are stem cells that are specific to an area of your tissue. So for example, there could be a specific area of one close to your nervous tissue or anything to do with that. So speaking of these type of tissues, there's 4 different specific type of tissues that were found in the tissue specific stem cells. I won't go into detail for that, but so the second part, which is embryonic stem cells, which is the main area I'm focusing on. So let's get on to the real star of the show, embryonic stem cells. So the embryonic stem cells used in research today come from unused embryos. So these result in vitro fertilization procedures, and they are donated to science. So these embryonic stem cells are pluripotent. This means that they can turn themselves into more than one type of cell. So they are stem cells derived from something called a blastocyst. So which I will be talking more depth in the article I wrote, but so basically these form the embryo. So in general, these are what form the embryos. So by the 5th or the 6th day, the fertilized egg is known as a blastocyst, a rapidly dividing ball of cells. So the inner group of cells will become the embryo. So the outer group will become the cells that nourish and protect it. So in simple words, it is a structure formed during pregnancy and processes an inner cell mass, so otherwise known as ICM, what forms the embryo. So there are three main parts to all of this. The blastocyst cavity, which is also known as a blastocele, and it is a fluid filled with like the surrounding ICM, which I talked about before, and the troboblast, which is a bunch of cells surrounding the blastocyst. And finally, there's the zona, which is a type of protein attached to the amino acid chains. So layers surrounding all of these parts and connecting all of it. So the embryonic stem cells, like I said, is a pluripotent, meaning that they can turn themselves into any type of cells. And isn't this magic? Like I talked before, this is like a versatility that allows the embryonic stem cells to be generated or repaired to repair any of like deceased tissues or organs, and gives a person a little bit of hope that there is a way to fix all of this using the embryonic stem cells. So now that you know how this works, let's get on to the benefits of everything. So in short, research has found like ton of benefits carrying all of this. So basically, the main advantage of these embryonic stem cells is that they offer many medical opportunities. So they're undifferentiated, meaning that they can go anywhere and be used anywhere in our bodies. And then secondly, it is that this could break barriers in like cancer research, and they're similar to cancerous cells and studying that this could help throughout many other things. And thirdly, the last main part is the embryonic stem cells offer numerous medical possibilities, like I said before. So basically the embryonic stem cells have the ability to form themselves into different type of cells. So if a person is missing that specific type of cells, this embryonic stem cells can help gain that amount of stem cell, or that cell you do not have. So therefore, that is what an embryonic stem cells is. So you can look more into the article, which I will post down below. Thank you.